Every holiday season, there's one toy everyone has to have.
Hey folks, this is Monk, and I want to wish y'all a Merry Christmas. And we are back with another episode of Classes of Cinematics, and I'm joined as always with my co-host. We got Bobby Blockbuster.
Yo, yo, yo!
Yeah, today, folks, we're going to be talking about the classic film Jingle All The Way. This is a Christmas family comedy. This is directed by Brian Levant, and this came out in 1996 in November. And in this film, workaholic Howard Langston wants to make things up to his son Jamie and his wife Liz. He promises to get Jamie the hottest toy of the season, Turbo Man.
Turbo time.
Even though it's Christmas Eve and the toy is practically sold out, as Langston hunts down the elusive gift, he runs into mailman Myron, another father on the same quest. With the clock winding down, Langston's moral code is tested as he starts to learn the real meaning of Christmas. And this film has a pretty cool cast. We've got Arnold Schwarzenegger in here. We've got Sinbad. We've got Jake Lloyd. We've got Phil Hartman, Rita Wilson, Jim Belushi, Robert Conrad, Vern Troyer, Paul Wright, a.k.a. The Big Show, Danny Woodburn. Phil Morris has a cool cameo in this thing. Amy Peets. Anybody else stand out to you?
Chris Parnell. This was his first movie appearance. And now
Okay.
he's on SNL and everything.
All right.
Yeah.
Bet. So let's get into this, man. What do we think about this film?
I mean, when you get to the story, I like how, it's pretty cut and dry as it dives into like the last minute shopping Christmas chaos and carnage that you would be engulfed in if you're a last minute shopper. And it kind of like, the story was based off of the 1980s Cabbage Patch craze. Those that were around remember that.
Yeah.
But then what was cool about this, with this dropping in 1996, it ran parallel with the Tickle Me Elmo craze that was going around at the time. And I mean, I remember that, bro. Like,
I remember both of those events vividly.
Gosh. Yes. It was crazy. It's like if you didn't have one of these items and you wanted one, it's like you weren't invited to the party. So I thought that was really cool that this was the core makeup of this story.
Yeah, and this was an era where retail was king, so you couldn't just be at home and hitting the buttons or pre-order
or
and
shopping
get these
online.
things. Yeah, you had to go out in the streets,
you out in the jungle,
and get it, yo. The Cabbage Patch craze was crazy. They had mamas throwing hands, at Toys R Us. Like that was wild.
And
to
then
me.
I remember with the Tickle Me Elmo, once they were sold out at stores, people were selling them for like 5 times more what they were worth on eBay.
Yeah, I think the retail scalper kind of came up during these big events, man. That kind of started that. Like, I'm not saying it's totally, but that was kind of a big thing,
Absolutely.
man. Like, or people started backdooring. If you had a job at Toys R Us or KB, and you could just lift a case, man.
What?
You could name your price.
That's that Christmas bonus. Yeah, tax-free money.
You could name your price,
ho,
man.
Ho.
Yeah.
But another thing I like is, even though it's focused on that, I like how when the movie first starts, it injects the importance of time. You know what I'm saying? How important it is to spend time with your children, with your loved ones, how meaningful it is, because we get this right out of the gate as, Arnold Schwarzenegger's character he's accidentally absent, for a lot of these major events in his son Jamie's life. And, it's having a negative effect on him and on the son. That's what puts Arnold in this position in the first place, to try to be on get back mode.
Yeah, it's tough, man, because like on one hand, you want, that's kind of the push, you got to work hard and get the money and, help your family. But a lot of times with some of these occupations, you got to spend a lot of time at work. And you see him on the phone. I guess he's the best mattress salesman in the
I know, right? It's like,
in the country.
Yeah.
Where is this taking place, though? That's
I want to say, is it Minnesota?
Oh, okay.
Minnesota, I believe.
Yeah, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he's like the best mattress salesman in the Midwest.
Yeah, they sleeping good out there.
Yeah, and he's going hard, but it's also, like you said, it's messing up the schedule. We see him miss the son's karate class, but also, I don't know, bro. Like I remember when I was doing all these other podcasts, and one of my co-hosts was like, "Man, I gotta go to my son's game." And I was like, man, you got to go to all of them? So I don't know. I feel like if I was going to be a dad, I'm going to be a good dad and a bad dad. There's going to be moments where I'm going to be like, hey.
You have to find a comfortable balance. That's the thing. You have to find a comfortable balance. And it's not just the time spent with your child. It's also time spent with your significant other, your loved one, people you care about. Because, honestly, this might sound cheese, but I don't even care. time's the only gift you can give someone that doesn't come with a receipt. You can never get it back once you give it. So it carries a high level of importance, especially when it's done right. You know what I'm saying? Because it shows that you prioritize the people that are important to you
you consider
in your life.
it. You're thinking about them, you know?
Yeah. So, you know, had he not been worried about selling them mattresses, he might not have been thrust into the situation.
It's funny, though, because we get the customary scene where the kid is like, but you didn't show up. And he's this giving him a hard time. And I'm looking at this kid's room. He's got the fly X-Men pillow on. Bro,
he's got
the Captain America mural on the bed. What? I'm like, man, Jamie, you might have a little too much. But then maybe that's the other shoe, because maybe his dad has just been buying him things and to compensate for the time that he hasn't been spending.
I mean, because pretty much as the conversation ensues, that's what he does. He was like, all right, look, I know I fell short. I didn't see you get your karate belt. What can I get you from father to son for Christmas? And
that's the first thing that comes to his mind, to pacify him with another gift.
Exactly. So it's like, you know, if you're gonna put $1 amount
it's Christmas
on it,
break. Come with me to work, bro, for a few days.
You want
to spend some time? Okay, we're gonna spend some time.
You know
I'm gonna have you working these phones.
Exactly. You can dress him up as a little elf or something, hold the sign out front of the store.
You calling these customers, you know what I'm saying? Like you gonna do something? You want to hang out?
Hey, we butter them up, and then I come in for the kill. You know what I'm saying?
We can hang out.
You got to pay to play, you know. But you know, I mean, and that's pretty much, I mean, the core makeup of this story. But then what I also like is that, you know, as Arnold's character, what's his damn name in this? Howard.
Yeah, Howard.
As Howard is going on his quest, and he finds another father that's in the exact same situation, played by Sinbad, and this is Myron, and he's a little more disgruntled. He's you know, he's the one who kind of like, they play off that, you know.
I feel like Myron's been through this dance like every Christmas. There's something he can't get the kid.
and they're playing off this, like, since he's a postal worker, he's like unstable mentally. This was a, you know, postal workers going postal. So,
it's like, I'm gonna kill everybody at work. Take a day off.
Yeah, I mean, when they're standing out in front of the toy store and waiting in line for it to open, I mean, he just starts spazzing out. He's like, "Yeah, this is conspiracy by the man to inject these unobtainable gifts."
I love this conspiracy, man. This is a big toy, man. They're
planting these seeds in our children's brain to make it hard on single fathers and all this other stuff.
Then he starts getting deeper. And then, when he was talking about about his, you know, and the wife won't even let you see him, you know, because she's been sleeping with everybody in the post. I'm like, yo, this is
with
crazy.
Everybody but him. Sinbad really leans in.
His meltdown is really my favorite scene in this, man. When we first meet him, is great, and he stays kind of goofy for the most part.
He's consistent throughout, yes.
And then it's crazy because, you know, at first it's like there's camaraderie, but then it's like the competitiveness of this forces them to be rivals. You know what I'm saying?
They're frenemies. You know what I mean? like there's a time
we both looking for this toy, but if there's only one, bro, I'm gonna get it for my kid. We're not even flipping for it.
Dude, they start going at it right in the toy store, they're hitting each other and getting each other out the way, and I mean, but that's what kind of like brings the funniness to it. It's got this slapstick style comedy that really works for this film, and you know, because the story is so simple, it has to give you something else. So we get all of the belly laughs from all of this craziness that's going on between Howard and Myron. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Otherwise, this shit would be a 30-minute made-for-TV episode about how hard it is to find obtainable gifts.
Yeah. There's characters, you know, we got on this, man. You know, we got Jamie, the kid who wants more time with his dad. You know, he's your typical movie character kid. You know what I'm saying? Nothing really special to him, in my opinion. But then we got Arnold. My man's working too hard. He's kind of your straight up character type, you know, of this role. But it's funny though, because this is Arnold Schwarzenegger. We're used to see him shooting people, throwing knives, you know what I'm saying, uppercutting bad guys. But it's so awkward to me to see him in a film like this. It's funny, but like it kind of elevates the thing in a way, in a weird way. It's not like I'm celebrating his performance. I'm kind of poking fun at it, you know, watching his big goofy self try to be the family man. He's definitely, this role is above his skill set, in my opinion. But it's still kind of, it doesn't kill the movie. In
no,
my
it
opinion,
doesn't.
You know?
And the thing is like we get a glimpse of this family Arnold in True Lies, but there's also the other side of the coin. Whereas he's just a family guy. He's not a secret agent. But what I do like
imagine this movie, but instead of it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, is Tiny Lister. That would be so crazy to me. Like seeing him doing the same thing, a guy that we're used to being a real serious, tough guy, trying to,
Debo on the quest for Turbo Man. What you got on my Turbo Man, punk? But one thing that made me laugh was when Arnold was running through the mall chasing after, I guess, one of the lottery balls for the Turbo Man lottery. It reminded me of Commando when he was running through the mall. Commando. I mean, he's jumping off stuff and doing all this stuff. I mean, then you get a Conan glimpse of him when the reindeer charges him and he knocks him out like the camel.
Oh, That was definitely a reference to that, man.
We get that, and I love what we get from Sinbad. They said that he improvised 90% of his lines. The banter between him and Arnold is great, and he really just leans into this like just absurd silliness that this postal worker is providing for this film. Really like Sinbad because he kind of, I guess. In a film where he would be, I guess, your quintessential villain, you kind of root for him. You want him to get the Turbo Man because I mean, it's like I
want him to get a Turbo Man too.
I think his son needs the Turbo Man more than Arnold.
He sounds more upset than Arnold about it. To Arnold, to me, I feel like it's still a thing where it's weird. I feel like for Arnold getting the doll, this is like, all right, this is going to get my kid off my back. But I feel like Sinbad is like, I genuinely want to make my kid happy. Like this is, this is something that he looks forward to every year. Maybe his dad, and he even tells a story though.
About how he knows the effects of how not getting your special gift for Christmas can affect you. Yeah,
he goes crazy because it's so extreme. He was like, I forgot. Was it?
It was like a Super 7 all-in-one combat.
No, the neighbor's kid got what he wanted for Christmas and became a billionaire, and he didn't.
Yeah,
and he became a postal worker. And then
at the bar drinking.
And then there's that part where Schwarzenegger is in his head imagining what's going to happen to his kid, and his kid's got on the postal worker outfit with a bottle tilted up.
Tilted up.
That was crazy to me.
Yeah,
that was a funny bit right there.
It was. And then speaking of the funny, it doesn't just stop with Sinbad. We get Phil Hartman as Ted, the neighbor, who's like kind of stuffing all the wives' stockings, so to speak, in the cul-de-sac. He's kind of like a sleazeball, but he does it in a way that we're not condoning his actions. It's not right to do that kind of stuff, but he does it in a very funny way, man. It's like just in that classic Phil Hartman way where he just seems so like. Almost innocent, but you can tell when he starts smirking. It's like, he's got some. He's planning some shit, and he's got his sights set on Howard's wife, man.
Yeah, he's an interesting character in this, man. He's dirty macking
everybody. Everybody.
And it's a slow build up because I didn't pick up on it right away, but then later on there's a couple other scenes. I was like, okay, that's his.
Angle. Yeah, they give it to you right at the karate tournament. You see the chicks, the women asking, one is thanking him for services provided, another one is asking for services provided.
That's why Howard doesn't like him, man.
Yeah, Ted, why you on my roof, Ted?
They're crazy, man.
And rest in peace, Phil Hartman too. This was one of his last roles, I believe, and this was also the third movie he did in collaboration with Sinbad. He was also in Coneheads, and then him and Sinbad.
Coneheads was great, man.
Yeah, him and Sinbad co-starred in House Guest, which is a dope movie. It's funny.
I think Hartman passed away in '98 or was murdered in '98.
Yeah, by his wife. It was crazy. Like a murder-suicide.
Yeah, apparently that chick was crazy.
Rest in peace, Phil Hartman.
But man. So I think just overall, man, like I just like the overall spirit of it. It touches on the Christmas movie. It has those elements, the lesson to be learned, the time and spending the time with the family. Because like Turbo Man, really, it's not about the gift, man. No. He eventually gets it. But I think what stands out more in Jamie's mind is the fact that his dad actually cared and took some time and did something, went above and beyond to do something for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And even though it was, to get this gold dog, because he could have easily just been like, man, I couldn't find it, bro. But here's 100 other things, But I think, that lesson that is taught, you know what I'm saying, by the end, when we get to the end of this film.
And there is another lesson that is taught too. You do not try to buy the gifts from Backdoor Santa Claus.
That is funny to me, man.
Jim Belushi's character as the scummy Santa is great. He got the whole organization going on.
Yeah, because I feel like this isn't the first film like this. There's probably been some after, but I'm having a hard time bringing it. Just this quest for this thing that's so difficult to find, and it's just funny, man. Like you said, like the bad Santa, so to speak. It's like psst,
they had a whole organization. He's like, and Arnold tells him, he's like, I ain't gonna sit in your lap. He's like, that ain't my bag. All these little like quirky jokes.
Yeah, but it's weird when he gets back there and they've just been lifting all this stuff, this stolen merchandise, and he gives him a Turbo Man, but it seems to be like a bootleg from Mexico or something.
Yeah,
it's the Mexican
like Turbo Man is
speaking. But not only that, it's probably a version that's been returned because like he opens the box and it's like assembly required.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like
and then there's instantly a no return policy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He has to fight all the
nutty,
Santas.
That is so crazy to me, man. That is so wild. But then I do like that final scene, man. It does get a little over the top and goofy when he puts on a costume and stuff. But I think the timing of this film, it makes sense because it's tapping into the craze, Turbo Man, but this is clearly Power Rangers inspired.
Absolutely.
Man. Even the bad guys and the minions.
Look, the aesthetic, everything about it, and they said that they made the design for Turbo Man based off of Marvel's, or is it Marvel that did the Flash? No, DC did the Flash.
Okay. Yeah.
Off of the Flash.
Yeah, it definitely has the Flash colors and it almost looks like, what was the dude on Simpsons? Was that Radioactive Man?
Radioactive Man.
Yeah, it kind of has
like
that look. Well.
Yeah. But it was cool to kind of like, it starts off, we see the show, like you said, just like Power Rangers, but then we get this live action, situation going on at the end at the parade where, you see this look in Jamie's eye where it's like, oh man, it's not even about
But that's
toy,
crazy to me. Is this Jamie's imagination? Because I can't believe, like, the suit really works. Like he's flying, they're doing all this crazy stuff. The fight, it's just magical. It's like these characters have come to life for real. Sinbad's
movie magic,
brain,
bro.
movie
magic.
It's kind of crazy, man. It's almost like this weird hyper reality that the film takes on in that moment.
Yes. Until they get off the float and then they're up on the roof and Jamie's like, oh man, like the mom is like, yo, he's not an actor. This shit's really happened. I think that's what pulls it back into, okay, this is really going on kind of thing. She's scared for her son's safety, but at the same time, you got Arnold flying around Minneapolis with a jetpack that really works.
That is wild, dude.
I don't make it make sense. I don't know, but I do like the effort that they did put into the toy, especially like with this being non-existent, just made for movies, and when they actually dropped the movie when its initial release, it was released at the mall that that took place that Arnold went shopping for Turbo Man in the movie. I think it's in Hollywood.
But because this film takes place in Minnesota, I'm wondering if they're in that biggest mall in America. Remember, didn't they have that, like the Mall of America?
Something like that. But
I wonder if
the
that was
same mall that's in the movie. That's where the film initially released, and they did sell these Turbo Man dolls. The Mall of America in Bloomington.
Yeah. See, that's the biggest mall at that time. That was the biggest mall.
So that's where it was shot at. This movie did get bagged by the critics, and now even though we review movies, but the critics aren't always right. I mean, I can see because this movie kind of jumps around all over the place. They were kind of saying it was a little bit inconsistent, not with the message, not with the acting, but with the pacing, and the tone. Like it's like, okay, first you're on this quest for this gift, but then there's all this splotchy comedy added, and then the ending and stuff. But personally, I like it. I think it's entertaining. It's fun for the family. It's one that I watch, around this time every year, because Arnold's leaning all the way in. Sinbad's leaning all the way in.
I think it's good enough, man. It's solid. Like I said, it has the Christmas message and all that stuff. There's fun moments. It's not I don't think it's the best, on the top of the pack of Christmas film, but it's a fun time. This is one the supplemental, and I do like the fact that we have this guy like at the time just it would have been the same. Imagine like Kurt Russell doing this or just someone else that's known for these action films to break out and do this, and that's cool, man. I think that's one aspect that I love about Arnold's filmography. It's like he tried, you go to look at something like Twins, this and Kindergarten Cop. Like he's jumping out there.
He steps out of
and trying things new. You know, even though he might be aiming higher than his range, but it's still, I think fun can still be had in this film.
But he's a selling point. And you know what? Not for nothing. If it wasn't Arnold, you know who I would like to see on the quest for Turbo Man? John McClane. I'd like to see.
Yeah, I could totally see.
I'd like to see Bruce Willis
doing this too, man. They're like,
And also with this film, it kind of it steps away from the norm. You know what I'm saying? This is something that is definitely relatable.
So imagine if Sinbad was the dad, and then you made Arnold the postman.
I know, right?
He'd be like, my son, like he would just be.
I can't take it.
These big toy companies, they want you to, like it'll be.
It's not turbo time. It's like, come on, man. But it kind of creates its own lane. It steps away from what when you think of like a film like The Christmas Story, kind of carries the same message in a sense where, the ultimate gift and the Red Rider and everything, but the delivery is completely different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't watch the dad go on the quest. It's focused on the kid and the anticipation of getting this special gift that you want so bad. This time we actually see them swimming through the mud puddle to try to get these Turbo Man dolls, which are just virtually impossible to find.
But yeah, I think we can wrap this up, man. This has been another episode of Classics of Cinematics, and I hope you get what you want for Christmas this year, folks, man. And if not, hey, man, try again next year.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I am excited about when it comes to Christmas, man, I saw the trailer, man. They're doing a requel for Return of the Living Dead. It's dropping Christmas 2025. So my favorite movie is coming. It's supposed to take place right after the original film, as if all the other ones never happened. So that's dope. And outside of that, man, Merry Christmas. Anybody who celebrates, you know what I'm saying, have a good one, and keep watching, keep supporting, keep liking. Yeah,
check us out on Classics of Cinematics on Instagram. We're also on TikTok now, and we're on X. It used to be Twitter at Classics of Cinematics. You can catch me on X, Twitter, and Instagram at Monkey Blood,
As always, you can catch me on the next show. This is Bobby Blockbuster. I did that all the way in reverse.
Yeah, we out of here, man. Turbo time.
Turbo time.